Hey everybody, this is Rich Brooks of Flyte New Media. We're a web design and internet marketing company located in Portland, Maine, and on the web at www.flyte.biz. It's late on a Friday afternoon. This is about my 17th take, so I think we're going to use this one no matter what happens. What do you say? All right. Today we're talking about Twitter, and Twitter is a microblogging tool. This is actually our third video about Twitter. The first one was about how to set up your Twitter account, and then we did one on how to find and follow people on Twitter. And today we're going to talk about how to get people to follow you on Twitter. Now, why is this important? Well, first of all, you want people to follow you because that's actually how you network with them. If you're Twittering and nobody's following you, nobody can hear how clever you actually are. So let's talk about how to get people to follow you. First step is follow them. Once you start following them, they're going to get an email saying that you are following them. There's almost a knee-jerk reaction that they're then going to go to your page and check you out. So when they get to your page, you want to have it as customized as possible. You want to give it a real lived-in look. That means that you want to fill out your profile, that you want to upload a photograph or an avatar, that maybe you want to put a custom background on your page as well. Now, everybody has their own reasons for why they follow people or why they don't. Some people might be interested in how many updates you have, or how many followers you have, or how many people you're following. They also might be interested in some of your most recent posts or tweets and find out if they think you're clever or interesting and basically worth following. Now, I asked some of my friends on Twitter what they do to increase the number of followers they have, and Michelle Evans had some good advice. She said, for starters, don't protect your updates. If you follow me and your updates are protected, I have no incentive to follow you. That's good advice. Basically what that means is on Twitter you have a setting where you can say I want to protect my updates. In other words, I don't want people to see them unless they ask permission, and then I'll show them or not show them. Well, that's fine, but if you're trying to build up your following, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to follow you. Cade had a suggestion. He says that you should mention them in a positive manner via Twitter because many people use search.twitter.com for vanity searches. That's definitely a great idea, and we'll take a look at search.twitter.com in a second. When you are talking about people on Twitter, what you should do is always use their handle and put the @ symbol before their name. What this is, it's called a reply. So here, Paul Cheney, is talking to Joanna Lord. Now on her Twitter page, if she went into the reply section, she would see this message. So Paul's using Twitter to talk directly to Joanna in this case. And it's just a way of engaging people, especially if you're following them but they're not following you back, is to be able to have that conversation with them. And that may engage them and get them to check out your page and maybe follow you then. Now let's take a look at the Twitter search because this is a pretty cool tool. We looked at it last time. We were talking about how to find and follow people, but you can also use it to increase the number of people following you. And the way you do this is that search.twitter.com tells you a little bit about some of the trending topics on Twitter. In other words, what are people talking about right now? And as I record this video, you can see that Joe the Plumber is a popular topic. So if I were to click on plumber, I can see all the people who are talking about plumber. Well, a lot of people use this tool. So if I were to go out and create a Joe the Plumber post, it would appear in this search. And that's a great way to engage people, to get in front of an audience who might not have known you otherwise and introduce yourself, and then maybe they'll follow you. I noticed that during Red Sox games, a lot of Red Sox fans are always talking about the Red Sox during the games. Those appear on search.twitter.com, and I find when I write about the Red Sox game as it's going on, I always pick up a couple more followers who are Red Sox fans. There's also some traditional ways of getting people to follow you on Twitter. One thing you can do is take your Twitter feed and put it on your blog or website. So this automatically updates every time I post something new to Twitter. It updates here on my blog, and it asks people, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You can do the same thing on your website. You can also add a link to your Twitter page in your email signature. So every time your email goes out to somebody, you're telling them that you're on Twitter and you're asking them to go ahead and follow you. Another good idea is to get people onto Twitter, to bring them onto Twitter yourself, because very often the first thing they'll do is they'll follow you. You can do this by writing articles about Twitter, you can create videos about Twitter, you can do speaking engagements and talk about Twitter, and because you're introducing these people, one of the first things they're going to do is follow you. So another great way of getting people to follow you on Twitter. And what you really want to do when it comes to putting up posts is make sure that you create value with your posts. We've all done the tweets that just talk about what we had for breakfast or the fact that we're going to the gym. There's nothing wrong with those tweets, but if all you're doing is giving people your diet, they're not going to really be all that interested, and there's less chance that they're going to follow you. So try and provide as much value as you can in your tweets, and that can mean different things to different people. For some people, that means being helpful by providing answers or links to somebody else's question. For other people, it's about being clever or funny. So what you have to decide what your own value statement is when it comes to Twitter, but definitely try and provide value while you are doing your tweeting. And finally, you don't want to be boring. Or as my friend Sandy Amarillo says, you want more followers? Maybe put up some nudie pics, or use the word boobies more consistently. If you start censoring, you're losing me. Now, to defend Sandy, not that she needs defending, she was referring to a tweet that I had put up before that. But that being said, you do want to be interesting. You don't want to be boring if you're on Twitter. Interesting people get followed and boring people don't. So hopefully this has been some good advice. If you have any great ideas on how to get more followers, be sure to send me those ideas via Twitter. I'm at twitter.com/thericbrooks, and I look forward to hearing and sharing your ideas. Until next time, this is Rich Brooks from Flyte New Media, and you can find us at www.flyte.biz. Thanks a lot.